Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and watch this video. Today I will be making notebook holder and a calendar. This one I'm making actually as per someone's request. I made previously, actually I believe in December of last year, 2023, I made two of these. And someone asked me to make it again, but not with Christmas paper. So this is what we will be doing. So this is the first one that I made, and it has a little calendar on the side. It has a pen or pencil holder. And it has notebook. You can close it. It has magnets on the side. So this was the first one that I made. One of them was a prototype. I don't remember which one. And this is the second one that I made. Same design. And also closed with the magnet. So today we will make another one. I chose different paper. So for this project that we will make today, I will use this collection. It's a premium stock, subtle and sophisticated, and I bought this one in Joann's Fabric. It really has beautiful papers, but they are more of a neutral colors, which I really like it. And actually I had difficult time choosing the paper. I wasn't sure which one I want to use in this project, but this is actually my choice. So this one is like really light purple with gold design. I'm gonna use this one for the cover. I'm gonna use this one for the inside, for decoration, and I will use some of this for the trim. I need to choose one more sheet to actually cover inside of the notebook, but I didn't decide that yet which one I will use. So for this project we will also need two pieces of chipboard 1 by 10, one piece of chipboard 2 by 10, and two pieces of chipboard 7.5 by 10. As I mentioned before, the one that I made in December, it goes with magnets. So we will need total of 6 magnets. And those are about 3/8, and we will need total of 6 of them. And magnets I purchased on Amazon. So if you look on Amazon for magnets, just look for dimensions 3/8 by 1 millimeter. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna use this cardstock to cover the front. And I think this one is a little bit longer than 12 inches because of that hole. So I will cut this down to 12 inches. Okay, so this is the paper. I will turn it around and we will glue those two pieces together. Okay. So now, you guys know that I like to position my chipboard to see where this joint will be, and in this case it's more than 1 inch. It will be on the back, so I'm pretty happy with this. And this is how we will position and glue the chipboard. So basically you need 1 inch diameter all around. This on this side we have more, so we will trim it and we will glue it this way: 7.5 by 10, 1 by 10, 7.5 by 10, 1 by 10, and 2 by 10, with 1/8 of an inch space in between the chipboard. So I will glue all these pieces, and you know, maybe I glue one with you. So I usually spread the glue all the way around, and then of course on the middle we will glue it just like that. Let's make sure this is stuck. Okay, so now when I'm gonna glue the second piece, I like to put something underneath. It could be a ruler, it could be anything, just so you can put it underneath to make sure that when you glue in your pieces, you are gluing them straight. That really helps. So let me glue rest of the pieces and I will be right back. Okay, so I got all the pieces glued together. So now I will turn it to the side and I will cut off that excess. And I'm trying to leave approximately 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch around. So I know I broke this one. I have another one. So we will score all around just like that on all 4 sides. Okay, so now we will fold this over on all 4 sides, and I will run the spatula against the edge of the chipboard, also on all 4 sides. I really like those nice crisp corners, so this is the reason why I do that. Yes, it's an extra step, but I think it's well worth it to have this really nice finish. Okay, so we got everything pre-scored and folded. So now we will trim the edges. We will miter them. So I'm cutting to the corner, and you can see there is a little bit paper left, just enough to cover that chipboard. And we will do the same thing on all 4 sides. Just like that. Let me put this so you can see the dimensions. And now we will just glue all 4 sides of that paper, we will glue it to the chipboard. Let's make sure this is all stuck. So let's just glue all those sides. I will do this off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I have everything glued. So now I am just gonna run the spatula right in between the chipboard just to soften up this paper. And you wanna really work it, go back and forth right here, pushing just a little bit, because you really want to work and stretch this paper. You don't want to break it. So just like that. So now you can see that we can close it quite easily. Now we're gonna cut cardstock to cover those joints right here in between the chipboard. So for that I will use white cardstock just because I'm planning to use lighter color on the inside. So we know that our cover is 10 inches tall, so we will cut the paper to 9.5, and we will cut strips 1.5 inches long. So this is my one strip. Okay, so we did cut total of 4, and we will position them just like that with little space in between, but yet we need to position them kind of on the middle of this chipboard. And we are also paying attention to the top and the bottom. You want to get as close to the same distance on the bottom as you have on the top. And we will do the same thing on this side, just like that. So I will glue the first piece with you. Okay, just like that. And then the second one, we're gonna position just right next to it with leaving just a tiny bit space so you can see the chipboard in between. So I will glue this piece and I will do the same thing on this side. And I will do this off camera. After I'm done, I will be right back. Okay, so I got the pieces glued. So now we need to find the score. So I'm basically pushing my spatula to find where the score is and slowly working it and trying to close that page. Now, please go slowly because you don't want to crack this side of the spine. So don't force it, just slowly close it. And we will do the same thing to all of the scores. So you see, you almost pushing this white cardstock onto the inside, and you're getting this really nice and crisp fold, just like that. And we will do the same thing to this side. I'm gonna just bend it a little bit, and now we're gonna push it towards the inside. And when you're pushing, don't push it too hard, just work it. Go back and forth until you get this really nice crease in there, because you don't want to break this paper. and the last side right here. Okay, so now you can see we can fold it and almost close it. Our cover is almost done. Now, before we do anything else, I want to position the magnets, because I found that if I won't do it right now, I will forget, and that's not a good thing. So to work with magnets, I like to use double-sided tape, and I will position one somewhere in here. If you want measurements, then I can tell you that this is approximately 1 3/4 inches. That's where the magnet starts, but I don't really measure it, because after you cover it, you won't be able to see it anyway. The most important dimension is gonna be from the outside or the edge of the cover to the magnet. It should be minimum of 1/2 inch, because when we apply the paper in here, you gotta be able to glue it. So I will position another one in here, and a third one we will position somewhere in the middle, just like that. So now let's make sure that this adheres. Now the other 3 magnets, I like to kind of throw them in there so they get stuck. And now the bottom side I'm putting onto the tape just like that and put it back. So basically when you put the tape down, your tape should be on the bottom. So now we positioned our magnets, and we will close this. When you close it, make sure that your bottom is nice and flat. And I will put my hand all the way on the inside. I want to make sure that that tape is actually stuck. And you see it is barely, but it is stuck. Okay, so now when you close it, you can hear it. It's grabbing really nicely, and this is the reason why I like to use 3 magnets, just to make sure you have really nice closure. I really like to hear that little snap. So now we can decorate the inside of our cover. So for the inside, I'm gonna use this light paper, also from the same collection. And what I try to do is actually to match something on the background of the inside with the cover. I think it's just very nice presentation when you do that. So I want the leaves to go up. So our cover is 10 inches. We're gonna cut the paper stock to 9 3/4. And we will need to cut 2 sheets the same way. 9 3/4. Now the width, we have 7 1/2. So we will cut to 7 1/4. One more piece, 7 1/4. Now we need to cover the spine, which is 1 inch wide. So we will cut only 3/4 of an inch. So it's gonna be right here. One more, 3/4 of an inch. And now we have our flap, which is 2 inches. So we need to cut one more piece that is 1 3/4. And I'm trying to align this straight. Okay, so we got our paper pre-cut. So this is how we will position this. This is the bigger piece. This will be the spine. Here is the bigger piece. Spine again. And here will be the cover for the flap. So now we're gonna glue it just like that. And I'm gonna turn this way. I will apply the glue. Now I want my leaves to go up. And now when I position this paper, I'm looking at approximately 1/8 of an inch all the way around to have this really nice and straight border, you know, in between the paper and the cover. We will squish it to make sure everything adheres. So now I will do the second large piece. And now I'm paying attention to this score. Again, 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. And you're paying attention to the score. It should be approximately 1/8 of an inch around. Let's make sure this is stuck. Just like that. So now we can cover our spine. We are also positioning on the middle. The second spine. On the middle in between the scores. And about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. I think I got a little bit of glue here. Okay. So now this piece, we will glue it right here. But before we do that, let's remove the backing tape. And now we apply the glue. And again, I'm trying to position this on the middle. And it should be really approximately 1/8 of an inch border around. Now, when you run your spatula or your bone folder around that, run around those magnets. Don't push it too hard because you don't want to break the paper or tear the paper right around those magnets. So you just have to take your time, be patient with that, and you will have beautiful result. Just like that, our cover is done. Now, in my previous project, I used calendar and notepads that I purchased from Dollar Tree store. So those are the notepads. It's a 3-pack legal pads from Dollar Tree. So we will use those right here. And this is the planner, also from Dollar Tree. This is how it looks like. But when you open it, it's more like a monthly calendar. Now, I just bought this one today because I didn't have any more. And I did want to make this project as it was requested. So they still have these if you want to purchase them. So now in our project, we covered this one. And I think this paper will match really nicely with this background. So this is what I'm choosing as a cover for our calendar. And this calendar will be glued, so we will cover only the front. And I also want the pattern to go up, so I'm gonna glue it this way. And I will glue it just like that directly onto the calendar itself, matching the sides and the bottom. So I will apply glue, and I am not going too close to the edge because the glue will spread, and I don't want to glue the pages. So I'm applying glue all around, and now I will position the paper, and I am paying attention to the bottom and the side. Just like that. So now I will trim excess of the paper, just like that. And I really don't need so much paper on the back because we will glue the entire piece anyway. So I will just cut some of that off, and we can use it for different project. So now I am gonna score this so it's gonna fold over a little bit easier, like this. Now when you are running your spatula or bone folder, just be careful, you don't want to rip this paper. So don't go on the angle, just slide it down. And now I will apply glue right here to glue this to the back. And let's squish it to make sure it adheres. Just like this. And you might say, why I even do this if it's gonna be glued? I do this because you will be able to see this side after we glue it, and you want this really nice finish. This is the reason why I do that. So now, when I open the back, I can see a little bit piece sticking out, and I will just trim this off, just like that. So now we can position this and glue it into our cover. Okay. And now let's squish this to make sure that all of that adheres. I will open this and squish it from here. We really want to spread this glue all underneath the paper to make sure it adheres well. Okay, so we got this part done, and you can see that this edge, it looks really, really nice. Okay, so our calendar is done. So now we will apply this notepad. And in a previous project, I did not decorate the notepad, and I don't want to decorate it now. I really like this look. I don't think it needs additional decoration. Otherwise, if I would put cover in here, everything kind of blends together, and I don't think you're gonna get the look. At least this is not the look for me. I think that the presentation is just much nicer just the way it is. So I am just gonna apply the glue in here, and I'm trying to position this one towards this side, but yet I'm trying to position kind of on the middle, so the distance between the top and the bottom is just about the same. Of course I can see it on the top, but I think this is just about even. So let's squish this so it adheres, and now we have our notebook. I have some of this paper left, and I know that in the project from December we made this almost like a box which had chipboard on the inside. This is actually quite a bit of work, so I don't think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna tweak the design a little bit, because I think whatever I have been making recently is just so much easier to make, and the result is the look of it as a finished piece. It's so close that I don't think it's worth to put the chipboard, wrap it around, and all of that. So the piece that I have left, it measures 3 inches. I will pre-cut this. It's going to be shorter piece, but for now I just want to create the scores. So we will score at F 1, 1.5, 2, and 2.5. The 2.5 inch score, we will actually cut this off. So where the score is, I'm cutting this off. So now if we fold that, that's gonna be our pencil holder, but I don't want it that long. So what I will do, I will trim this down to about 2.5 inches. I found the 2.5 inches. It's actually pretty nice size. So I will score all these pieces just like that in my hand. And I will glue it together to make this square. I will spread the glue a little bit. And we are gluing this together just like that. We can go with the bone folder from the inside to make sure that everything adheres. Just like that. And that will be our pen holder right here. Now, before we put any pen in here, and I got some color ones in here, so I don't know which one to choose. I don't like red, so I think I will just choose black pencil, just like this. Now if I would put different pencil, like this one could go all the way to the bottom, so you don't want to position this too low. You want to make sure when you place your pencil that will not come too low. You want to make some type of proportion. So the side that we glued together, you see that over here you got two papers. That's where we glue that. I will apply glue right here, and we will glue this. And I'm trying to glue this somewhere on the middle, just like that. Now to make sure that it's stuck, I'm gonna put the bone folder, just kinda spread the glue on the other side of the paper, just like that. And I don't know, I have some pencils in here, so we can put pen, we can put pencil, and this is our project. Now we need to cover this side. To cover this side, what I did in here, I had some decorative band that came with the same pack as this paper, so I put it as a decoration, but also that served purpose of covering those magnets in here. So we will do something similar, and I do want to use this paper. It came from the same pack, so everything should match, and it's really up to you how you want to position this. Now I am gonna try so I will trim. I didn't decide that yet what I'm gonna do, so for right now I just want to see how that would look. So now if I use this border, it's not gonna be that noticeable. If I use this, it might be a little bit too much. So I kind of like this, so I think I'm gonna use, and we have to make sure that whatever we cut, it's gonna be enough to cover the magnets. So I think I'm gonna use this panel, and that panel. So this. And I'm gonna cut all the way to this purple. So you see, if I position like that, I think this is just matching beautifully with that little purple to kind of break this up a little bit. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So to make it perfect fit, we really need to measure our cover. So the cover is, it is exactly 10 inches. So I will cut this down to 10 inches. So when I glue this, this is the look I want. So now we can remove the backing. I will apply the glue. Now, if you really like this project, if you enjoy this project, please comment, share, like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It helps a lot my channel grow. So if you want to see more videos, that would definitely help me. I do want my channel to succeed, so all those things really do help. And I really appreciate. I'm trying to build our MaKala family. So any and every comment, every share, every like, every subscribe really helps all of us. So now when you going around the magnets, just be careful, you don't want to rip the paper. So just take your time, make sure everything is nicely stuck. And around those magnets you might have to work a little bit because of course they are picking up the paper, and you want to make sure that this is all stuck. So I hope you like this project. I think it came out really, really nice.